One report some recalls, man. I hate doing this, but you guys need to know about this stuff. Like, you could be running around.
Not recalls.
I know. It's like, I don't want to hear it. What do I got to do now? You know? GM recalling. Greg, how would if I told you, Greg, your headlights were too bright, would you care about that?
Not me.
I mean, the ongoing traffic, we want to be courteous, but I didn't say like brights, because you're bright, you know, those cars, the people with their brights. By the way, if you're hitting a curve down in San Bernardino, I'm not too familiar with that Southern California area other than making trips periodically. But listen, California's got some curves, dude.
Oh, yeah, they do.
On those freeways, they come fast.
And hills.
Think about the oncoming traffic. Turn your lights down, please.
Yeah, some of them are bright, and they come from the factory that way right now.
You know why? Because my wife's like, why don't you turn your lights up higher?
Yeah.
So I'm not having a UFC right now on this highway. Like, maybe somebody made a mistake. But GM is recalling 740,000 SUVs because the headlights can be too bright.
Wow. Now, how do they measure that?
Well, the company's recalling. This is. Hey guys, this is a throwback. A lot of you guys have these cars. The GMC Terrain.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm not a big fan of the Terrain.
Me neither.
I mean, I've seen you in the garage, and it's all good, you know, but sometimes, you know, the Terrains can be left out there all over the terrain for lack of maintenance and stuff. But 2010 through 17, man, GM's recalling 740,000 of these kind of mid-size. Wow. It's not the Big Daddy Yukon or anything. Headlights beams can be too bright and cause glare for oncoming drivers.
I wonder why the Terrain lights are brighter than the full-size vehicles that GM builds.
I don't know, but let me tell you, that recall may come out. We don't know what these engineers are doing. But the recall announced this past Tuesday comes after U.S. safety regulators. That's so official, right? U.S. safety regulators turned down a request from the Detroit automaker to avoid the recall.
Wow.
Oh, this is interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, this is interesting. So did GM say no according to the standard? You know they're testing.
Yeah, they have
for standard and then the brights. Did GM's test and their engineers say, oh, no, this is the standard?
Yeah.
The company's recalling GMC Terrain SUVs from 2010 through 17 model years. Now, here the story goes on to say, and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA, are officials. Well, do you think I don't know, man. I think they're picking on GM.
Yeah, they could be. I'm interested to know why they're not going after Chevrolet. What is it?
Other
Traverse?
Platforms of the same, just different badging.
Yeah,
for
Chevy
GM.
Traverse is probably the same vehicle as the Terrain. GMC.
Why are you picking on our GMC Terrain family?
Don't know.
Well, they go on to say.
Same reason you're picking on them, because you see them in the shop all the time.
Well, they are, because that's the maintenance issues, people. You got to maintain your ride. I see you Terrains in the shop. Let's find out why, because this is pretty interesting. My feeling is they're picking on GM for some reason.
For some specific
because
reason.
GM, look, we know that manufacturers, like airbag issues, heck no, sorry, you can't fight that.
No.
Takata recall, millions of airbags, people died over those with shards of this and that in their face. Not good. The agency says this can reduce visibility for other drivers. Now, my question is, they're going back to 2010. Did we have to wait for 12 years to figure out that there is a headlight issue? I mean, I didn't see any Facebook forums. Like pharmaceutical, when drugs come out, there's a problem. 60, 70, 100,000 people will get on a Facebook forum and talk about the bad situation by taking this particular drug.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, when I'm driving up to Butcher Jones at night because I want to take my double kayak outside and just enjoy the weather, when my husband and I are driving, I'm little. I am a very short woman. So when a truck comes up behind me, and I'm in a Toyota Tacoma, okay? But when a truck comes up behind me and I have to lean forward and make sure that I am not visually...
It's intimidating. I mean,
No, it's not intimidating. I can't see. So what I do is I make sure that I move my side mirrors and I move my back mirror, and I use their headlights because they're brighter than mine.
Oh, so you're, in this case, this is a good recall for Mrs. Bree.
Yeah. Personally, I get so tired, and I have sensitive eyes. So thank you.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Well, that's an argument, Greg, that you can't argue. Like, if you're If you're driving that 1970s on an old 12-volt system that's on its last edge, you need the truck or somebody behind you to help you see the road. I get that.
Well, if these terrains are so old, aren't the factory bulbs probably burned out and been replaced by now?
Well, here's the gig. This is why, listen, I agree. Or worse yet,
So
come on.
Bulbs that
Wait
are
a minute.
In the trash
How
can.
many of you, it's not a bulb issue.
Kind of late on that,
You
I
got
think.
foggy lens.
Right.
You can't even see through the lens because they've been ultraviolet lighted to death in the
right.
sun. But here's the reason why GM is on the fence.
Okay.
And I'll have to agree. The last statement of this news article, one would ask himself, okay, well, has GM gotten complaints from consumers in the last 12 years?
Good question.
All right. The company says in documents that it has only had one complaint from a customer about headlights shining into trees.
Well, if the headlights are into the trees, that's
Maybe they're aimed wrong.
That's
I
an
don't
adjustment
know.
to me.
But I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. Apparently, they cannot contest this. If you own these GMC Envoys, happily go in and get your extra 2-lit headlight situation April 23rd. I may put that link up on our wrenchnation.tv site.